Now let's look at how we can sort and filter the data we have in our Google Sheet. So I have my Google Sheet full of some grades for students, and I want to be able to sort that data. So there's a couple of things that we can do. So first of all, if you go up and hover in any of the columns, you'll notice that a little drop-down arrow appears. So I'm hovering in the last name column, and I'm going to click on this little arrow, and it's going to give me some options, and one of them is that I can sort A to Z. So when I click on that, it's going to sort everything based on column B in alphabetical order from A to Z. All right, so immediately I have a problem though, because it not only sorted the names, but it also sorted my header column, and I don't want that to happen. So let's fix that first, and then we'll look at some more sorting options. So now I've got it back to where it was before, and I want this first row to be my header row. I don't want it to move as my other data gets sorted. So I'm going to highlight that row, and then I'm going to go up to View and Freeze, and I'm going to choose for it to freeze one row. So now when I move through my data, that first row stays the same. And you'll be able to see that you have that first row frozen because it kind of puts a little thicker gray line in between row 1 and row 2. Now do keep in mind that you can move this so that you freeze more than one row. And so you want to make sure that you are only freezing the rows that you want. Okay, so I've got my header row frozen now. So now let's go back up and let's sort A to Z by last name. And so now all of my names are in alphabetical order from A to Z. And what you'll also notice is that when I sorted by row B, last name, all the other data went with it. Okay, and so let me undo and let's look at that again. So let's watch Brittany Elder, and you can see that her grades are here. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and just highlight these grades so that you'll see that they move correctly. Okay, so now I'm going to go back up by last name again, and I'm going to sort A to Z. And you'll notice that now they're in alphabetical order by last name, and all of Brittany Elder's grades went with her. So just by sorting by one column, it's going to take everything and put it in the right place. So another thing that we can do is sort by multiple columns. So I'm going to highlight the columns that have data in them, and I'm going to go to Data, Sort Range, and Advanced Range Sorting Options. Now, I'm going to make sure I mark that I have a data header row so that it doesn't try to sort that out. And then let's say I want to sort by my unit test from A to Z. And then I also, within that, also want to sort by the student's last name, A to Z. And so I'm going to hit Sort. And now you will see that we are going from, when we go from A to Z, we are going from the lowest to the highest. Okay. You can also change that if you want to do something different. If I want to go from, again, by the unit test, but I want to go from Z to A so that I see the highest at the top and the lowest at the bottom, and then still sort by last name as well. You can then add another column as well if you want to sort by first name, and you can keep adding additional columns for it to go by. So if I hit sort here, now I've sorted from highest to lowest on my unit test. I have sorted then after that by last name and then by first name. So you can choose different ways in which you do that. Okay, I'm going to go back now, and I just want to sort by the last name again. And then I want to show you how you can actually filter out some data. So I'm going to just go up to Data, and I'm going to go to Create a Filter. And what you will notice when I do that is now I have these little, let me move some columns over so we've got a little bit more, we can see it a little better. You can see these little markings here in each of my columns, and these indicate that there is a filter that we can use on those columns. So if I want to, I could filter out some information based on quiz 1. So I can click on this little filter, And then I can go down and I can choose, and I'm going to clear it out. And then I want to just see any student that scored 90 or above. And so I'm going to click on all of these here. And then I'm going to hit OK. And now the only students that I see are students that scored 90 and above on quiz 1. Okay, I can take that off and I can clear it out and then hit select all. And when I clear it out and then hit select all, now all of my data comes back. So it's not lost. It just allows me to filter things out. If I want to just see certain students' grades, I can click on those students, hit OK. It's going to clear out everybody else except for the students that I'm looking at. So you have the ability within the sheet to just filter for specific information and take a look at those. And then you can always clear that out, select all the data back, and get all of your information back. Okay. And then if you want to get rid of those filters, you don't want that on there anymore, you can go to Table and remove filter. So that just allows you to sort through your data and maybe look at just specific pieces of information a little more clearly. So those are just a few sorting and filtering of data options that you have that hopefully will help you as you are continuing to look at data in Google Sheets.